Yo, what up, Dookie heads? This is rowstyles, and I wanted to do a little PUBG solo walkthrough, kinda, to talk about some of my decision making and things like that. Um, that might be helpful for some of you. I am like an intermediate player. By no means am I like a god or really good at this game. I'm very average, but I've watched a lot of tutorials. For example, from like Aculite and Fuglet, and they've helped me a lot to improve my solo play and just overall gameplay. So I figured I would pay it forward a little bit, do the same thing, and hopefully this will help some of you guys in the future. So yeah, let's get into it. So for this match, I landed in Novo. I like to go Novo, military, Pachinki, school, places that force you to take fights. YouTubers and streamers will probably tell you that's the quickest way to get good at this game, which I agree with. It forces you to take close range fights, mid range fights, loot, and kind of chaos. Use sound. Sound's a big one, especially in first person. You really got to rely on sound to get info and figure out player locations and stuff like that. So I didn't record my early game frags because I didn't think they're particularly interesting, but just to catch you up on like basically what's happened so far is I landed at Novo. A lot of fights happened. Probably about 10 people landed there. I killed 2. I got some decent loot, and I'm starting to move out. And I'm using shots and sounds nearby to try to determine where people are. So right now the zone is across the bridge west. So I need to get to mainland, but I've heard shots straight ahead towards the bridge as well as up this hill that I'm kind of trying to peek right now. So that's why I'm kind of taking the route that I'm taking. And I'm about to spot a guy down here to my right who I heard shooting earlier. Now, since he was shooting, I'm assuming that he was shooting at somebody. He might even be running at him to try to finish the kill. So I'm going to be keen on the location that he was looking at while running, because obviously he's not going to be running with his back to somebody. So I got the kill on the guy down here, and now I'm just kind of looking around for the dude that he was fighting with. I'm going to spot him down here in a second, and I hit him really hard, and even though I do tag this guy probably to like 25% HP, I'm not going to just run straight in like a crazy person because you don't know how he's going to peek you. You should always try to push with cover in mind. In case you get lit up, you want to be able to med yourself. So also you don't know if you're going to get crossfired by somebody else in another spot, which happens all the time in this game. So it's important to have some cover in mind when you're pushing people to finish the kill. So while I'm looting these guys, I actually get tagged from my left, and this is kind of an interesting fight. So I take the shot right here, and that kind of helps me get his location. Now I peek this way too wide. You'll see this. I know he's probably at that tower. He just takes a shot. But watch how wide I go and where my crosshair is. So that was a horrible peek. So I know now that this guy kind of has to jump on me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a little cheeky spot through this window. Anytime you have the ability in this game, you have the timing and the position to do something like this, it's always going to give you the advantage. So I see that this guy's peeking the door, and I'm just going to set up for a really easy kill here. Even though he has a level 3 helmet, I'm able to outplay him, and he probably has better aim than me, to be honest. But I'm going to be able to outplay him here because I'm taking up a position that just gives me an advantage automatically. And that's so key in this game. You want to always try to give yourself an advantage because lots of people play this game. They come from FPS, like they'll be able to out aim you if you let them. So you got to try to outthink them. So here I take a boat across the water, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to die because I see there's another boat that's beached right in front of me. And a lot of times when people take this position, they'll go up on the ridge to the left and they'll shoot down on people. So my plan is to pretty much try to get across this field and find some kind of cover. I know there's a shed up here, and you're going to see in a second that I hear a car coming. So I'm about to take the fight against this guy in the car. Normally, I mean, this is pretty much a bad idea. It works out for me, but I wouldn't recommend this because I'm literally in a field with almost no cover, and I gave my position away by fighting. The reason I went for it is because I'm a little light on boosters and medkits, and I figured if I could get the kill, get some boosters and medkits, and get his car, I could try to get a better position for myself, because right now I'm in just a total shit spot, and I'm lucky to not die here. So I do take the car here to reposition myself closer to the edge of the circle. You should. There's a lot of different strategies that people have for playing the edge or playing the center of the circle. I kind of mix up my style a bit with that. Like, I go to the edge here because the center of the circle right now just happens to have very little cover. I like to get into the woods, give myself different angles, give myself the ability to look around in different spots, move in cover. But that's kind of up for debate, especially as the circle gets smaller. You do want to play it a little bit inside because you want the ability to move to far circles and not take on gas. But again, that's just how I played it. You know, you can share your thoughts with me on how you do it. I just mix it up like that. So I took a guy down here. It wasn't like a very exciting kill, so you know, I didn't include the highlight. But something I just wanted to talk about really quick that I'm about to do is I have an okay spot now. I've got lots of ridges. I've got lots of cover around here. So I'm listening to shots, and I'm trying to, you know, I know that there's 14 other players, and I'm trying to spot as many of them as I can through sound or through visual. There's some OP spots. Something you want to pay attention to towards the end of the game is houses that are in the circle, like in the next circle. So if you look at my mini map in the bottom right, you'll see there's a cluster of houses over there and a tower that are in the circle. What I want to do before I make my move back inside is I want to make sure that I try to clear places where I think it would be logical for someone to be. So I see streamers do this all the time. I hear YouTubers talk about it. It's such a smart thing to try to get into habit with yourself. Just check things that make sense. Like, check things that where you would hide. And I'm going to clear windows in these houses and the windows in the tower, and I'm going to get really close, you'll see. And I do that because I want to spot people before they spot me. Again, I want to give myself the advantage, the positional advantage, and the info advantage over other players that might beat me in just a straight up aiming match or shoot me in the back as I'm running away. So I'm about to spot a guy up ahead, and you'll see this is kind of an interesting fight because I get the advantage in that I tagged this guy really hard from the beginning of the fight. But going back to that first fight that I showed, you got to be careful how you push, especially late game. You know, people can get airdrops. They can have, you know, guns that are just way more powerful than yours. And so you see here, I hit him with a few tags early on. He's, you know, half HP, 40%, something like that. I'm whiffing like fucking crazy. Like I said, I'm an intermediate player. But what he does here is he actually opts to play it defensive and try to escape. But something I notice is I have full visual on him. Unless he has perfect movement and moves completely in cover where I can't even see his backpack sticking out or anything like that, I know he's still in this area. So what's going to happen now is I have to push in from a positional standpoint. I have to take the circle. So that puts me at a disadvantage. But the advantage is I pretty much know, generally speaking, where he's going to be. Because he hasn't escaped, I know, and I say it in the game chat, although it's very soft, but he's got to be prone. I mean, that's just my intuition. You got to start using your intuition the more you play this game. And I look for spots where people will be prone, and thankfully enough, I'm about to spot him over here to the right in this bush. I see his little head sticking out, and I just take him out. So we're really deep in the end game right now. You see it says 5 alive, it just went to 4. So the guy that just died is right there that I'm scoping at. He was shooting me, but he got killed by a guy over here to my left. So even though I know there's a guy to the right and there's a guy deeper south part of the circle, I need to focus on the guy to the left. Like, he's my primary target. He just took out a guy with a very powerful sniper rifle, probably has pretty good aim. And the sooner I get the info on him, the better advantage I'll have in a fight versus him. So I do actually spot him as I'm jumping and moving up. And unfortunately for him, I haven't shot in a while, so he just literally didn't know I was there. It's the worst way to die, but that's the kind of kills you get sometimes in endgame. People are just kind of get a little bit tunnel vision sometimes on certain targets, and you forget to look around and check your surroundings. So I know there's shots to the south. I'm going to start to peek the left side of this shed in really small angles just to clear things because I have no clue his exact location. and I actually spot him here, prone just to the right, and I hit a horrible whiff here because I don't reset my crosshair. I get the 2 tags, and then I freak out like, oh, I gotta fucking kill him. Always reset your crosshair. If your spray or if your original shots are not set up, don't do what I just did. Or go into cover and then re-peek or anything like that. And I actually spot the final guy here too, and I do kind of a similar thing. So those 2 spots right there, those were my biggest mistakes. But right now I need to worry about the circle, because the last thing I want to do is die to gas. I got 1 tag on this guy, and this is my opportunity. If he's going to hit a med, it's going to be now. And I'm going to try to take this little ridge right in front of me. So I'm trying to use my nades here to my advantage, because I have 3 of them. I'm going to chuck one now. I fuck up really bad right here, but he doesn't capitalize on it, luckily. He could have ended the game right after this. I tried to throw another nade and go prone right here. But I actually stay up way too long. Like, I meant to press Z way earlier. He could have easily headshot me there and ended the game if he had good aim. But I got lucky there, and I'm able to finish him off right here. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments if you liked it or if you want to see other videos like this. I can't stress enough, like, I'm an intermediate player, so I'm not going to be able to provide, you know, as much help as maybe some of the better YouTubers and streamers. But what I learned from them, I feel like I'm very good at processing and implementing into my game and my strategy. And I like to break it down and try to pay that same kind of knowledge forward to other people. So again, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up or just tell me in the comments, yeah, cool, do more like this or whatever. Thanks for stopping by, and yeah, see you soon.